Welcome to Shadows Unseen, where the line between reality and nightmare blurs, and the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. In the vast expanse of the digital age, where cameras are omnipresent, capturing everything from mundane moments to life-altering events, there exists a darker side, a realm where the lens becomes an unwitting witness to the inexplicable. Today, we delve into 5 truly shocking and horrifying moments caught on camera, each a chilling testament to the unseen forces that may lurk just beyond our perception. In this exploration, we will navigate through stories that have left even the most skeptical minds questioning the fabric of reality. These are not mere urban legends whispered in the dark. These are documented encounters, captured in pixels and frames, that challenge our understanding of what is possible. From ghostly apparitions in abandoned asylums to unexplainable phenomena in bustling city streets, each story is a piece of a larger puzzle, hinting at a world that operates under its own mysterious rules. As storytellers, our mission is clear: to peel back the layers of these haunting tales and present them with a blend of suspense and intrigue that keeps you on the edge of your seat. We aim not only to recount these eerie incidents but to immerse you in their chilling atmospheres, making you feel as though you're witnessing these events unfold firsthand. With every word, we strive to evoke the same spine-tingling sensations that these original witnesses experienced, ensuring that the horror resonates far beyond the screen. So, dear viewers and listeners, prepare yourselves for a journey into the shadows. Here, in the dim glow of your screens, we invite you to open your minds, and perhaps brace your hearts, as we reveal the terrifying truths hidden within the frames of reality. Welcome to a world where the past whispers, the present trembles, and the future remains shrouded in mystery. Let's step into the darkness together, where every click of the camera might just capture more than anyone bargained for. The haunting echoes of Blackwood Asylum nestle deep within the dense forests of upstate New York. Blackwood Asylum stands as a grim relic of a bygone era, its towering walls and barred windows whispering secrets of untold suffering. Originally constructed in 1885, the asylum was heralded as a beacon of progressive psychiatric care, designed to house and rehabilitate those deemed mentally unstable. However, as time wore on, the facility's reputation soured, marred by reports of patient abuse, experimental treatments, and a series of inexplicable disappearances that were hastily swept under the rug. By 1963, public outcry led to its closure, leaving behind a labyrinth of shadowy corridors and forgotten rooms frozen in time. Decades later, the asylum has become a magnet for urban explorers and thrill-seekers drawn to its eerie allure. One such group, consisting of 4 friends armed with flashlights and a single handheld camera, ventured into the decaying structure on a chilly October night. Their plan was simple: document the ruins and capture the essence of a place steeped in tragedy. What they found, however, would haunt them forever. The footage begins innocently enough, with shaky camera angles panning across peeling wallpaper and rusted bed frames. Laughter echoes faintly as the group jokes about the ghost stories surrounding Blackwood. But as they descend deeper into the asylum's bowels, the atmosphere shifts palpably. The air grows colder, their breath visible in the dim light, and the laughter falters. At the 15-minute mark, the first anomaly appears. A faint, distorted voice whispers from the shadows, audible only when the audio is played back. None of the group seems to hear it in real time, yet the camera captures it with eerie clarity. Minutes later, the group enters what was once the electroshock therapy room. The camera lingers on a rusted machine, its dials and levers frozen in place like the hands of a clock stopped mid-tick. Suddenly, the lights on the device flicker, casting erratic shadows across the walls. One of the friends, visibly unnerved, mutters, "Did someone touch that?" before stepping back. No one had. The camera shakes violently as the group scrambles to leave the room, their panicked breathing filling the audio track. The climax occurs in the asylum's chapel, a cavernous space littered with broken pews and a crumbling altar. Here, the camera captures something truly inexplicable: a translucent figure standing at the far end of the room, its form flickering like static on an old television. The figure raises an arm, pointing directly at the group before vanishing in an instant. The friends freeze, their faces pale with terror, before bolting toward the exit. The final moments of the video show them fleeing into the night, their screams echoing into the void. This chilling encounter, preserved in grainy footage, has since been analyzed by paranormal investigators and skeptics alike. Some argue that the anomalies could be explained by environmental factors, electromagnetic interference, or psychological suggestion, but others insist that the evidence points to something far more sinister. Whatever the truth may be, the Blackwood Asylum incident remains one of the most compelling examples of the supernatural caught on camera, a stark reminder that some doors, once opened, can never truly be closed. The phantom hitchhiker of Route 47. Deep in the heart of rural Ohio lies Route 47, a stretch of road notorious not only for its winding paths and sparse lighting but also for the spectral figure that reportedly haunts its desolate stretches. This tale begins with Sarah Thompson, a seasoned truck driver whose nocturnal journeys often took her through this eerie landscape. Known for her meticulous record-keeping and a dash cam that never slept, Sarah's routine drive one fateful November evening turned into an ordeal she would never forget. As Sarah recounted in her viral YouTube testimony, the initial signs of the haunting came subtly. Around midnight, her dashcam captured a fleeting shadow darting across the road ahead. Initially dismissing it as a trick of the light against the dense fog, Sarah continued her journey. Minutes later, the radio, which had been playing a soft jazz station, began to emit static interspersed with faint, indistinct whispers. Disturbed yet determined, Sarah adjusted the frequency, only for the whispers to grow louder, almost pleading. The true confrontation occurred approximately 20 miles down the road. The dashcam footage shows a figure, clad in tattered clothing reminiscent of early 20th century attire, standing motionless at the roadside. Its face, obscured by the brim of an old hat, was tilted slightly towards Sarah's approaching vehicle. Despite her honking and flashing lights, the figure remained stationary until the last moment when it suddenly raised a hand in a gesture that was both a wave and a warning. Compelled by a mix of fear and curiosity, Sarah slowed down, eventually stopping a few feet away from the figure. In a decision she described as not entirely her own, she rolled down her window and called out, asking if the person needed help. The response, or lack thereof, was chilling. The figure simply stood there, its head now fully bowed, before slowly fading into the mist as if dissolving into the cold night air. Sarah's dashcam recorded every second of the interaction, capturing not only the visual disappearance, but also an abrupt silence that followed, contrasting sharply with the previous cacophony of whispers and static. When she reviewed the footage later, Sarah noticed something that sent chills down her spine. A reflection in her rearview mirror showing the figure sitting silently in her passenger seat during the moments she had been addressing it outside. This incident sparked widespread interest and speculation. Paranormal experts who examined the footage suggested that the entity might be a residual spirit, trapped in a loop of its final moments. Others hypothesized that it could be a malevolent presence, using illusions to lure unsuspecting travelers off the road. Regardless of the interpretation, Sarah's encounter with the phantom hitchhiker of Route 47 stands as a stark reminder of the thin veil between our world and the unknown. Her story, supported by undeniable footage, continues to captivate audiences, serving as both a chilling narrative and a cautionary tale for those who dare to travel the lonely roads after dark. It underscores the reality that sometimes, the most horrifying moments are not those we imagine, but those that are undeniably caught on camera, challenging our very perceptions of reality and the supernatural. The Cursed Lens, a photographer's nightmare in the bustling metropolis of Tokyo, amidst the neon-lit chaos of Shinjuku, lies a story that intertwines the art of photography with elements of the supernatural. This tale unfolds through the experiences of Hiroshi Tanaka, a freelance photographer known for his daring exploration of abandoned places. His quest for the perfect shot led him to an old, dilapidated apartment complex rumored to be cursed. The building, known locally as Akakabe Apartments, was infamous for a tragic fire that claimed numerous lives decades ago. Drawn by the eerie allure of its charred walls and shattered windows, Hiroshi set out one misty evening equipped with his trusted Canon EOS R5 camera. Little did he know, this expedition would lead to one of the most unsettling discoveries ever captured on film. As Hiroshi navigated through the debris-strewn corridors, his camera clicked incessantly, capturing the decay and desolation. However, upon reviewing the images later that night, he noticed something profoundly disturbing. In several photos, ghostly figures appeared, translucent and blurred, moving through the wreckage. Initially skeptical, Hiroshi dismissed these anomalies as tricks of the light or reflections. Yet, as he delved deeper into the photographs, patterns emerged. Each haunted image was taken at a specific location within the complex, the site of the worst devastation from the fire. This consistency gnawed at him, prompting a deeper investigation into the history of Akakabe apartments. Research revealed that the young girl in the photograph was believed to be one of the victims of the fire, her spirit said to wander the ruins seeking peace. Local legends spoke of her haunting the area, appearing to those sensitive to the supernatural. Intrigued and somewhat terrified, Hiroshi decided to revisit the site with protective charms gifted by a Shinto priest. On his return visit, armed with blessed items and a renewed sense of purpose, Hiroshi's camera captured even more explicit interactions. Footage showed objects moving independently and shadowy figures converging around him, their forms becoming clearer and more menacing. The climax of the ordeal came when his camera, without any input from him, focused sharply on a scorched wall where the characters of an ancient curse were etched, glowing faintly in the dim light. The implications of these findings were profound. Not only did they suggest the presence of spirits tethered to the physical world, but they also hinted at a malevolent force manipulating the environment. The cursed writings, according to folklore experts, were meant to trap souls indefinitely, feeding off their despair, a grim fate for those unfortunate enough to perish in the fire. Hiroshi's encounter with the supernatural at Akakabe apartments, meticulously documented through his lens, presents a compelling case for the existence of otherworldly entities. His story, bolstered by tangible photographic evidence, challenges the boundaries of human understanding and opens a dialogue about the thin veils separating our world from the next. As these images continue to circulate among paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike, they serve as a haunting reminder of the mysteries that lie just beyond the reach of our everyday senses. The Shadow That Walks Alone, a family's encounter with the supernatural in the quiet suburbs of Portland, Oregon, nestled among rows of neatly manicured lawns and family-friendly homes, lies a seemingly ordinary residence at 1428 Maple Street. To the casual observer, it appears no different from its neighbors, save for the slight chill that seems to linger in the air whenever one approaches. For the Carter family, however, this house became the epicenter of an experience so bizarre and unsettling that it defied all rational explanation. The Carters moved into the home in late spring, eager to start a new chapter in their lives. The house, though modest, was spacious enough for Mark, Lisa, and their 2 children, Emily and Jake. What began as a peaceful transition quickly spiraled into something far darker. It started with small, inexplicable occurrences, toys scattered across the floor when no one had touched them, faint whispers heard in empty rooms, and the distinct feeling of being watched. At first, the family dismissed these incidents as the quirks of an older house settling into its bones. But soon, the disturbances escalated. One evening, while the family gathered in the living room to watch a movie, their nanny cam, positioned to monitor the children's playroom, captured something that would change their lives forever. The timestamp on the footage read 9:47 p.m. The camera angle was fixed, offering a wide view of the brightly lit room. Toys sat untouched, the air was still, and the faint hum of the heating system provided the only sound. Then, without warning, the door creaked open, though no one was near it. A shadow, tall and humanoid in shape, slipped into the frame. It moved with deliberate slowness, its form shifting unnaturally as though it were made of smoke rather than flesh. The shadow paused by the toy chest, extended an arm-like appendage, and then vanished as abruptly as it had appeared. When the Carters reviewed the footage the following morning, disbelief quickly gave way to dread. The shadow was unlike anything they had ever seen, its movements too fluid and purposeful to be explained away as a trick of light or shadow. Panic set in as they realized the entity had entered their home while they were mere feet away, oblivious to its presence. Over the next few weeks, the shadow grew bolder. It began appearing in multiple rooms, always captured by the cameras but never witnessed directly by the family. The nursery camera once recorded it standing over Jake's crib, its featureless head tilted downward as though studying the sleeping child. Another clip showed it lingering in the kitchen, its form elongating unnaturally as it stretched toward the refrigerator before dissipating. Each appearance left the family more shaken, their sense of safety eroding with every passing day. Desperate for answers, Mark reached out to a local paranormal investigator, Dr. Laura Bennett, whose expertise lay in analyzing unexplained phenomena. Dr. Bennett arrived at the house armed with EMF detectors, thermal imaging cameras, and a healthy dose of skepticism. After setting up her equipment, she conducted a thorough sweep of the property. The results were inconclusive at first, but during a nighttime vigil, her thermal camera captured something extraordinary. The footage showed a heat signature moving through the hallway, its shape unmistakably humanoid. Unlike the shadowy figure from the nanny cam, this entity emitted a cold aura, registering well below ambient temperature on the thermal scale. It paused outside Emily's bedroom door, lingered for several seconds, and then disappeared. Dr. Bennett noted that the entity seemed to avoid direct contact with the family, instead observing them from a distance. She theorized that it might be an intelligent spirit, bound to the house for reasons unknown. Despite Dr. Bennett's efforts, the shadow's appearances continued. The Carters tried everything to rid themselves of the intruder, smudging the house with sage, rearranging furniture to disrupt energy flows, and even consulting a medium. Nothing worked. The shadow remained a constant, silent presence, its motives as inscrutable as its origin. Eventually, the strain became unbearable. Lisa began experiencing vivid nightmares, waking up in tears with no memory of what she had dreamed. Emily refused to sleep alone, claiming that the man in the dark was watching her. Even Mark, who had initially dismissed the phenomenon as stress-induced paranoia, found himself unable to shake the feeling that something malevolent was sharing their home. The breaking point came one stormy night. The power went out, plunging the house into darkness. As the family huddled together in the living room, the baby monitor crackled to life. On the small screen, the shadow loomed large, its form pulsating as though alive. It reached toward the camera, its movements jerky and aggressive. Then, the screen went black. Terrified, the Carters fled the house that night, leaving behind everything except their most essential belongings. They rented a temporary apartment and placed their home on the market, hoping to sever ties with the entity once and for all. The house sold quickly, but the new owners reported similar disturbances within weeks of moving in. Today, the Carters refused to speak publicly about their ordeal, fearing ridicule or worse. However, the nanny cam footage remains, a chilling testament to the shadow that walked alone. Experts who have studied the recordings remain divided. Some believe the entity is a residual haunting, a fragment of energy trapped in time. Others argue it is an intelligent spirit, possibly malevolent, drawn to the emotional turmoil of the family. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: the shadow at 1428 Maple Street is a reminder that some mysteries are better left unsolved. The Carnival of Nightmares, a ride into darkness in the quaint town of Cedar Falls, nestled between rolling hills and dense forests, an annual event draws crowds from miles around. The Harvest Moon Carnival. Known for its vibrant lights, thrilling rides, and sugary treats, the carnival has long been a staple of autumn festivities. Yet, beneath its cheerful facade lies a story that has chilled the spines of locals for decades, a tale involving a ride known simply as the Vortex. The Vortex, a towering contraption of steel and glass, was introduced to the carnival in the early 1980s. Marketed as the ultimate test of courage, the ride promised an adrenaline-pumping experience with its dizzying spins and disorienting mirrors. Riders were strapped into seats that rotated rapidly within a cylindrical chamber, their reflections warped and multiplied endlessly. It quickly became a crowd favorite, drawing long lines of thrill-seekers eager to confront their fears. However, the ride's popularity took a dark turn one fateful October evening in 1987. A group of teenagers, emboldened by bravado and the crisp autumn air, decided to sneak into the carnival after hours. Armed with a handheld camcorder, they aimed to capture footage of themselves riding the vortex under the cover of darkness. What they recorded would become one of the most infamous pieces of paranormal evidence ever documented. At first, the ride behaves as expected, spinning faster and faster as the teens scream and laugh. But then, something changes. The camera, mounted on the central axis of the ride, begins to capture strange anomalies. Reflections that shouldn't exist appear in the mirrors, shadowy figures darting between the spinning panels, their forms distorted but unmistakably humanoid. The teens' laughter turns to panicked shouts as they realize they are no longer alone. The footage grows increasingly chaotic. The ride's speed escalates beyond its normal capacity, the centrifugal force pinning the teens to their seats. The camera captures flashes of movement too quick for the human eye to process, along with guttural sounds that seem to emanate from the ride itself. One of the girls, Sarah, screams, "There's someone in here with us!" Her words are drowned out by a deafening metallic groan as the ride lurches violently. The climax of the video is nothing short of harrowing. The camera focuses on one of the mirrors, where a grotesque figure materializes. Its face is a twisted amalgamation of agony and rage, its eyes hollow voids that seem to bore into the viewer's soul. The teens scream in unison as the ride screeches to a halt, throwing them into darkness. The final seconds of the recording are filled with static and muffled cries before the screen goes black. When authorities arrived the following morning, they found the ride in a state of disarray. The control panel was fried, its circuits melted beyond repair. More disturbingly, the teens were nowhere to be found. Their abandoned camcorder, discovered near the base of the ride, contained the only clue to their disappearance. Investigators combed the area, but no trace of the group was ever uncovered. Theories about what happened that night abound. Some believe the ride acted as a portal to another dimension, trapping the teens in a realm of endless torment. Others speculate that the carnival itself is cursed, its grounds built atop an ancient burial site. Paranormal experts who examined the footage identified the figure in the mirror as a demonic entity, its presence triggered by the teens' intrusion. The vortex was dismantled shortly after the incident, its parts sold off to scrap yards across the country. Yet rumors persist that pieces of the ride still exist, scattered and repurposed in carnivals worldwide. Those who claim to have encountered them speak of similar phenomena, disappearances, unexplained malfunctions, and glimpses of shadowy figures and mirrored surfaces. To this day, the Harvest Moon Carnival remains a popular attraction, though few dare to speak of the vortex. Its legacy serves as a grim reminder that some thrills come at a cost, and that the line between entertainment and nightmare can blur in the blink of an eye. The footage from that fateful night continues to circulate online, a chilling artifact of a ride that dared to defy the boundaries of reality, and paid the ultimate price. Threads of the unseen, patterns in the shadows as we sift through the harrowing narratives of Blackwood Asylum, Route 47, Alcacabe Apartments, and the enigmatic shadow at 1428 Maple Street. A tapestry of eerie consistencies begins to emerge, weaving a complex pattern of supernatural phenomena. These stories, disparate in location and circumstance, share uncanny similarities that beckon us to look deeper into the nature of these haunting encounters. Firstly, the element of auditory disturbances manifests prominently across these accounts. From the whispering voices that plagued Sarah on Route 47 to the chilling whispers captured in the corridors of Blackwood Asylum, sound plays a critical role in escalating the tension and unease. These auditory phenomena not only unsettle the witnesses but also serve as precursors to more tangible manifestations, suggesting a methodical escalation typical of intelligent hauntings. Visual anomalies form another thread connecting these tales. The ghostly apparitions seen through Hiroshi's camera at Alcacabe Apartments, and the shadowy figure that stalked the Carter family are indicative of a spectral presence capable of interacting with our physical world. These visual cues are not random but appear to target specific locations and individuals, hinting at a conscious, albeit non-corporeal, intent behind these manifestations. Furthermore, the technological interference observed, from the malfunctioning ride controls of the vortex to the inexplicable camera glitches in the Carter home, points to a sophisticated manipulation of electromagnetic fields by these entities. This manipulation suggests a level of intelligence and purpose, reinforcing the theory that these are not mere echoes of the past but active, sentient forces attempting to communicate or influence their environments. Moreover, the psychological impact on the witnesses cannot be overlooked. Each account details a profound transformation in the mental state of those involved, from initial skepticism to overwhelming dread. This psychological shift is crucial as it indicates the entity's ability to affect human emotions and perceptions, further blurring the line between the physical and the metaphysical realms. Lastly, the geographical dispersion of these incidents, from the remote forests of upstate New York to the bustling streets of Tokyo and the suburban tranquility of Portland, raises intriguing questions about the universality of such phenomena. Are these isolated incidents, or do they represent a broader spectrum of supernatural activity occurring globally? The recurrence of similar themes and effects across diverse settings suggests a universal element to these encounters, possibly linked to human consciousness or the inherent properties of certain locations. In synthesizing these observations, we begin to see a framework of supernatural behavior that transcends individual stories. These shared characteristics not only validate the experiences of the witnesses but also provide a foundation for further exploration into the mechanisms and motivations of these mysterious entities. As we continue to gather and analyze such cases, the patterns become clearer, drawing us closer to understanding the enigmatic forces that dwell in the shadows of our reality. The lingering shadows, confronting the unseen. As we draw this chilling journey to a close, let us pause to reflect on the profound implications of the stories we've explored. These harrowing encounters, etched into the annals of recorded history through grainy footage, distorted audio, and fragmented memories, are more than mere curiosities. They are stark reminders that the boundaries of our understanding are far more permeable than we dare to admit. The supernatural, whether it manifests as ghostly apparitions, shadowy figures, or malevolent forces, challenges the very foundations of what we consider reality. It forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that there are dimensions beyond our perception, realms where the rules of logic and physics dissolve into the unknowable. These documented events serve as undeniable proof that the unseen is not merely a figment of imagination or a product of overactive minds. They compel us to reevaluate our relationship with the spaces we inhabit, the tools we use, and even the technology we rely on. Consider the cameras that capture these phenomena, devices designed to record the tangible, yet they have inadvertently become portals to the intangible. The footage from Blackwood Asylum, Route 47, Alcacabe Apartments, and The Shadow at 1428 Maple Street does more than document the supernatural. It invites us to question the limitations of human perception. Are these anomalies glitches in our reality, or are they deliberate attempts by otherworldly entities to bridge the gap between their world and ours? Yet, the implications of these encounters extend far beyond the individual stories themselves. Collectively, they paint a picture of a universe teeming with mysteries that defy explanation. Each incident, whether rooted in sorrow, tragedy, or malevolence, suggests a connection between the living and the dead, the seen and the unseen. The whispers in the asylum, the phantom hitchhiker on the desolate road, the cursed lens of Hiroshi's camera, and the shadow that stalked the Carter family, all of these point to a shared truth, that the past is never truly gone, and the spirits of those who came before may linger, tethered to places, objects, or even emotions. This realization carries a weight that extends beyond fear. It speaks to the enduring bonds between humanity and the metaphysical, urging us to approach the unknown with both caution and reverence. But what does this mean for us, the observers, the storytellers, and the seekers of truth? It means that we must embrace the uncertainty. The supernatural, by its very nature, resists definition. To study it is to wade into waters where science falters and faith takes root. Yet, it is precisely this ambiguity that makes the pursuit worthwhile. Each unanswered question, each unexplained phenomenon, is an invitation to explore further, to dig deeper into the archives of the unexplained, to listen to the whispers of the past, and to peer into the shadows that dance just beyond the edge of our vision. For those who dare to venture into this realm, the rewards are manifold. So, as we leave the shadows behind, for now, we invite you to carry the torch of curiosity. Question the world around you. Listen closely to the stories of those who have faced the unknown. And remember, the next time you pick up a camera, switch on a recorder, or even walk down a dimly lit street, you might just capture something that defies explanation. Because in the end, the supernatural is not merely a subject of fascination, it is a call to wonder, to explore, and to embrace the infinite possibilities that lie just beyond the veil. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unseen. Until next time.